Can you trade a stupidly simple discretionary strategy and actually make money? I believe you can, but in this video, we're going to break that down in a back test and kind of test that out together. I made a lot of progress in my own trading journey. When I stripped my charts, I made things very, very simple. I allowed myself to exercise my discretion, and I think that a lot of traders would make some progress if they did the same. Now, it doesn't mean that trading is going to be easy, but I don't think it has to be terribly complex. I do think, and I've seen myself outside of just my own journey, a lot of traders make a lot of progress trading stupidly simple, discretionary, intuitive approaches. Let's go ahead and hop on the charts and backtest this together. Now, I got TradingView in replay mode here. We are going to be doing this on ES on the 15-minute chart. In order to keep things random, we're going to hit the random number generator 3 times. 1, 2, 3, and that will pick our month. Okay, we ended on 2. We can't go much further back than that because we won't have volume data. So we're going to bring this back to February, and we're going to start on the first day of the month. We're going to go to NYSE Open, and I'm going to explain how I'm going to approach trading ES here on the 15-minute chart for NYSE Open starting here in February. Here's our game plan, right? Here's our game plan because we're simple. We're going to keep it stupidly simple. We're going to use our discretion, right? We're going to trade the 15-minute chart exclusively. We're going to trade the session. We're going to look at the overall trend, right? Just the overall higher time frame trend. We're going to leave our little volume profiles here on the chart. If you have questions on this, feel free to ask on the video. We're going to leave our volume profiles on the chart without paying too much attention to those. We're going to pay attention to where we're opening up relative to yesterday's candle, right? Are we selling off? Are we pushing the upside? And then what's happening on the chart in front of us? Are we starting to break out above VWAP and we are forming some bullish price action? We're going to buy. Wild, crazy, right? We're going to set our stop loss maybe somewhere down below the current 15-minute candle or a couple 15-minute candles down before that. We're going to use some discretion to put an invalidation point in an area that makes sense. And we're going to look to hold our winners, maybe try to make a little bit more when we're right, when we lose, right? And maybe win about 50% of the time, about half the time, see if we can't make that work for us. Let's go ahead and start to play this one forward. Again, guys, we're going to apply some discretion. This isn't going to be cut and dry. I don't think that most trading is, and I think that most traders that try to sell you some cut and dry magic strategy are either very naive or just full of crap, man. So let's go ahead and trade with, let's keep it consistent. We'll just trade with, let's go by risk. Let's say we won't risk more than $2,000 at any given trade. Let's say we're trading in a large size account, whatever it is, we're going to risk $2,000 per trade, and our take profit will be, not fixed, where we'll be able to go from, what price action the market structure is doing. So we're opening up here, kind of starting to crack down below VWAP. Nice big bullish candle. Okay, maybe that's some news, maybe not, but what did I say we're going to do? We're going to buy into strength. We're going to go stop loss right down below. In this instance, we're going to move that to $3,000. That's going to be our fixed risk, right? We're going to use a $3,000 fixed risk. Let's see if we can't get a move back up to this area of high volume here. We started to push to the upside. We tested this low, tested this area a couple times. If we start to come back in, it looks like we could retest VWAP. Here's what we're going to do in certain cases. We'll close. If the trade's not working out, if it's coming back like crazy on us, that'll be part of keeping our winners larger than our losers. We'll be cutting some losers short, right? If it gives us a chance. Our stop loss is here. The next candle could rip right through it. Maybe we don't get a chance to do that. Kind of consolidating up here. And again, we're going to be discretionary, right? So I think we still could break. I think we could come up here. Do I think now we'll be able to make our winner $3,000 or more? Maybe not. I'm not sure that we reach it. We'll close with discretion, right? If we start to come back down without breaking, okay, there we go. Got a little bit of a break out of this one. Trying to climb into the afternoon here. We're getting pretty late in the day here, right? So here's the discretion that I'm going to exercise. I'm going to close this one out. Close this one out for a $1,700 winner. Close position. Nice. Let's go ahead and move on to the next trading day and see what we could do from there. Over time, is cutting a winner short like that? Whoa. Stop, TradingView. Stop. Well, we can't stop. We're into the next trading session. Okay. Is cutting a winner short like that over time and realizing full loss is going to be helpful? No, right? We might end up with a negative risk to reward. But for the purposes of this, we're going to use some discretion. We're going to try to do what makes sense. I think you guys have done this on backtesting. I'm going to talk a little bit about trying to apply this to live market conditions and what can help with that. So we're popping to the upside here. Maybe we get a little bit of a retest of VWAP. Yeah, man, let's take a buy right here. Let's take a buy, and we said we weren't going to go over $3,000 for this one. It's going to be tough. Let's make this one tight. We're going to look for this to push right up to the upside, and we're going to increase our risk here. There we go, to about $2,000. Let's keep buying. Okay, great. We are at $2,500 worth of risk. We're going to see if we can't pop to the upside here or if we have to come trade through this this low to the downside, right? There we go. We'll go right at $3,000 like we said. Try to keep risk consistent, which I think is important with any approach. Let's see. Maybe we take a stop out right on this one. Nope, not yet. We're holding, continuing to push to the upside. Nice, right? You know, maybe we get one more little crack up here and we look to take profit, you know, somewhere into that level. I think that would be reasonable outside of this area of high volume. We're kind of filling this gap right here. Let's see if we can't hit that. Do we have to hold all the way to that take profit? No. Do I think we can hit it? Yes, but guess what? We came down and stopped me out, right? We took a $3,000 L on this one. We're retesting VWAP. Looks like we might push right back up to the upside after taking a frustrating L, but I'm glad that we took the L, chat. That's awesome. I'm happy that we took one. Let's keep the backtest rolling forward. I'll try not to go too far ahead, and we'll keep it realistic, right? If you're looking for a strategy on here that somebody's going to show you a 100% win rate or perfect back-to-back-to-back wins, look at how good this works out. We're just going to make money over and over and over and over again and take zero losses. In my humble opinion, you're not at the place where I'm going to be able to maybe provide any value. I think you're still hunting for the Holy Grail, and you don't recognize that there's no such thing, right? There's no such thing. There's nothing that's going to work 100% of the time. So now that we got past that, took an L, let's go. Let's play this bad boy forward. We are opening up for NYSE Open here. Retesting VWAP. Let's see if we come down. Maybe we will look to buy into some strength if we can form some after sweeping a low. Nice. Let's go ahead and buy into that strength. Let's go ahead and up that. Just going to go one at a time here. Nice. Little over $3,000. We're going to look for a break of the highs, push to the upside. Do we have to do that today? No. Can we come right back down on this? Sure. We can do whatever we want, right? Market can do whatever it wants at any time. There we go. We got a nice push out of this one. Let's say we're going to be discretionary with this one, and we're going to hold a little bit longer, see if we can't get a little bit farther of a push. We're going to try to run our winners, right? Create some larger W's. We did take a $3,000 L on that last one. Let's see. We start to sell off a little bit. Maybe we get a little bit more of a push through this high. We're going to try to hold our winners, right? We know we're supposed to hold our winners. We know we're supposed to cut our losers short. Nice, man. We get $3,500. Start to consolidate up here. Maybe we don't get too greedy on this one. We set a take profit up here, and we say, hey, you know what? We're going to go stop loss to break even. If we have to come back down through VWAP, we're going to be out. We want to hold this winner a little bit longer, hold for a little bit more of a push of that high. We have a take profit up there. Nice. We get hit. $5,000. We're back into green on this back test here. We are $3,725 in profit so far, even with taking, a stop out. Let's go ahead and play this one forward and see if we can't backtest a couple more days, right? What am I doing off the open? Talking, technically here. What am I doing off the open? I'm waiting for the market to show me maybe some strength, a bullish bar holding above VWAP on the 15-minute chart. I'm trying to trade with the lower time frame and medium time frame and higher time frame trend, which has been to the upside. I'm placing my stop loss level at an area that makes sense, right? If we sold back off through these lows, that would really be invalidating the trade, right? Maybe we were just sweeping liquidity or something down here, but we're not pushing the upside. We're selling off, right? So we're keeping this thing stupidly simple. We are trying to keep our risk, here we are into the open, trying to keep our risk somewhat consistent around that $3,000 level, which is important. And we're going to keep our risk to reward flexible, right? We're going to try to run our winners to an area that makes sense and then close with some discretion. So let's see, man. We're consolidating a little bit at VWAP. We got a little bit of strength showing. We could be ready to pop to the upside, but now we're pushing to the downside. Let's see if we get another big bearish bar. Yeah, so this is starting to look weak, right? So overall, we were pretty balanced overnight, pretty choppy into the open, but now we are continuing to put lower highs in and we're pushing the downside. So on this bearish bar, let's take a sell. We've been pretty long only. It is a little bit of a higher time frame uptrend. Let's take a sell and let's go with a stop loss right outside of this high. Yeah, we'll keep it right there and we will sell two more. Oh. Because we want to keep that $3,000 risk. Let's go ahead and play this one forward, right? Maybe we reverse. Maybe we come right through that high. It looks like we might. Taking a little bit of heat, but we sold into some selling pressure to the downside. Maybe if we start to break, which we do on that one, very nice. Don't know, what's going to happen next. We might come right back up on it. It looks like we could see some selling pressure all the way back down to, this area of high volume. We had a big push to the upside today. Maybe we can get somewhere down here for a take profit. Let's set a fixed one down here where we're not going to just hold into oblivion, but if we wick down here really quick, I think being out for $5,600 on a $3,000 risk is not a bad move. Nope. We come all the way back through and we got some news or something today, but right into the close, So let's say, where was our close here? Yeah, let's say, you know what? We took a $787.50 L on that one. We held all the way into the close, and maybe our prop firm account took us out there. Let's run a couple more days, man. See if we can't get a little more profit into this. Let's see. Overnight session coming into NYSE Open. And if you're trying to figure out how to backtest, I don't think this is a terrible way to do it. It's not super duper structured. It's 8:30. Looks like we got some news there. Nice. We're popping the upside and selling off super aggressively. So this is obviously some news at 10 a.m. here. Maybe some fundamentals. Let's see if we can get something that starts to make sense out of this. Yeah, this is just super duper volatile, guys. On a day like today, maybe we knew that news was coming and we decided to keep ourselves out of it. Down below VWAP, we're coming into the middle of the day, and maybe we went no trade on a day like today. Let's go ahead and play this thing forward. Looks like we want to come back up to VWAP before maybe selling off into the close. Let's go ahead and get to the next day. This is super duper volatile. Maybe we say, hey, there's some news, and we're gonna wait for Monday to trade. No trading on Friday. That looked wild. Moved a little bit too fast for me to be able to do anything with. Anyway, so here we are into the open on a fresh week. Let's take another couple trades. Nice. We retest VWAP here. We're holding above for overnight session, looking very bullish. Let's say we take a buy off of this one, right? We throw our stop loss somewhere down here, and we buy again because we want to keep our risk right around that $3,000 level. See if we don't get a pop to the upside. Nice, we do. Maybe we come up into this area of consolidation, flowing with the trend, flowing with VWAP. See if we can't catch a nice winner out of this one. Looks like maybe we want to come back down towards VWAP. Let's see. Can we hold VWAP? Or are we going to come all the way through? We're holding. Nice. We're past a 1-to-1 on this one. We say, you know what, man, $3,500 on my $3,100 worth of risk. That's going to be good enough for me. We're getting late in the day. Maybe we push higher. Maybe we sell off. Looks like it was a decent close because we came back down. Nice. We're putting more profit in the account. We are $6,437, even with a couple L's holding into the close, taking one that really just ripped our face off. Let's see if we can't take another couple ones, and we'll wrap it up. Again, guys, trying to flow with the trend, trying to flow with volume-weighted average price, trying to pay attention to what the heck we're doing for a higher time frame, but really waiting for the market to open up, show us a little bit of direction here. All right, here we go, 9:30 a.m. Let's see. Let's give it a couple candles. Maybe we get something nice. Indecisive at VWAP. We're not doing anything. Nice. Pushed in the upside. Guess what we're going to do, guys? Buy. Big surprise. Stop loss all the way down here. Let's say our $3,000 level somewhere down below this low. We're going to look for a break of the highs. We'll play this one forward so we can keep this thing moving. We get a little bit of profit. We come down back through VWAP. Maybe this is a frustrating one where we just get whipsawed. Nope. We're going to... I didn't even... let me confirm that one. Looks like we're going to try to push to the upside. Can we get a little bit more out of this move? We held all the way into the close, and we're $1,000 in profit. W. All right. So here we are, $7,412 in profit, 12 trades. Looks like we have just over a 50% win rate. Again, not a big sample size, nothing crazy. If you wanted to backtest something like this yourself, I think you certainly could. But the point of this, right? Rather than trying to overcomplicate everything, rather than creating 47 different chart markups, I did no chart markup on this. Creating insane narratives around where buyers and sellers and what the market makers are doing in the banks and liquidity here and there. I really do think if you just took the time to slow down, use a couple tools on your chart that make sense to you, whatever those are. For me, it's a little bit of volume tools, maybe just raw price action, waited for whatever specific time or session of the day that you wanted to trade, and tried to trade in a very simple way. Maybe you let the market kind of show its hand and you trade with the direction of the trend. I don't know. Maybe you've heard the trend as your friend. Maybe you want to trade that way. Maybe you don't. Maybe you want to trade reversion. I trade a very simple reversion style right off the open on YM for NYSE. If you want to check it out, I do it here live on YouTube. But try to simplify your trading. Hop on backtesting. Hop on, on TradingView backtest. Set a fixed stop loss level, the amount of risk that you want to, to take on each day. Maybe you set it wide. Maybe you zoom out of the 1 minute. You hop on the 15-minute, right? You try to just take 1 or 2 trades a day. And you try to make your winners a little bit bigger than your losers. You maybe clip your losers early when the trade's not working before the full stop out. Maybe you hold on to some winners when the market is just ripping in your direction with no fixed take profit. Maybe sometimes, like we did on one of the first ones, close a winning trade early because it just doesn't look like it's going to work out anymore. You exercise some of your discretion. This takes time. This takes experience. I don't want to oversimplify it. It is certainly not easy, but I do believe it can be simple. It can be very, very basic. And I think a lot of the best traders that me and you probably watch trade in a very simple way, a discretionary, intuitive, right? Their subjective interpretation of what's going on the chart, their tools, and a lot of that is experience, but not super overly complicated, not 1,000 different narratives as to what's going to happen and why and how I'm going to predict the market. You guys want to watch this stuff play out for me live almost every day, 9:15 a.m. Eastern. I'd be more than happy to have you there. I'd be also more than happy to have you in a 100% free trading Discord. No course, no VIP, no mentorship out of me. Quick disclaimers, guys, and you can hit like and subscribe if you made it this far. I appreciate you watching. Quick disclaimers. Trading is very risky. Most traders lose money. Almost nobody that trades makes money. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice or any types of suggestions for anything. This is for entertainment purposes only. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content. Hope this helps, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope to see you trading live.